Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. And for all the censors out there that are very sensitive about the community guidelines at the uh, New Health Conversation podcast, the only thing we ever quote for our audiences is published in the 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Nothing we talk about is our opinion. We give no claims. Everybody has free access. It's all in the public media, all the information that we cover. We only stick with medical facts. We don't give opinions. There's nothing to buy on our site. We're educators and we educate people about weight loss, nutrition, and health for free. Okay, we even offer free coaching. So just to let you know, we stay well within your community guidelines because we don't have to make up anything or make any claims. Well, hello and welcome, Melissa and Fabi. So again, all of you, stop scrolling. This makes diets obsolete. Why every diet fails long-term until now. This breakthrough helped one woman lose 21 pounds in 30 days, and she kept it off for 9 years, backed by 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies. So if that's not good enough for you, I'm not quite sure what would be. So hello, Teal. Hello, Sacred Scroll, I think it says there. Hello, everybody. So what do you think about that? This makes all diets obsolete. It's not a diet. It's not about counting calories, and no one is even allowed to exercise. There's nothing on all social media that can touch this. And I say that for a lot of reasons. Number one, imagine she lost 21 pounds in 30 days. I'll show you her actual picture. She lost 21 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days, and she's kept it off now for 8 or 9 years. It is not a diet. If you're looking really, are you serious about losing weight? But the most important part of this is getting really, really healthy. Weight loss, depending on how much overweight you can be, it just becomes a deterrent, whether it's energy or aches and pains, or you can't sleep at night, or you're stressed out, or whatever it might be. We're now in a situation where in 4 years, they project that 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese in about 4 years. So something is terribly wrong. Our whole goal here for all of you is to stop scrolling and take a little bit of time to listen. How is this even possible? So let's stick on Kristen for just a moment. So again, with no exercise, she lost 21 pounds, 38.75 inches in a month. How many, if you don't mind putting it in the chat? Hello, Billy. Hello, Candigan. Hello, Aisha. We have lots of people that are at least taking a look at this. This is real. This is not Photoshop. There's nothing on here that's Photoshopped. Are you really serious about losing weight or not? Or do you want to follow all these people? Sadly, I see these people that weigh 500 pounds now. They're coming on. They're putting them on low-calorie diets. In some cases, they're losing, 2 or 3 pounds a week. Yes, over a period of like 6 months, maybe they've lost 100 pounds, but they weigh 600 pounds. I mean, she lost 21 pounds in a month. Think about it. She only had 30 pounds to lose. She lost 21 pounds in a month. These people that weigh 500 pounds, they're lucky if they can lose 20 pounds in a month. This is going to change everything for all of you, and it's not a diet. So who would like to put in the chat, if you wanted to lose 20 pounds, how long would you give yourself? This is real, everybody. That's why, again, stop scrolling. Listen, we're going to teach you why every diet fails long-term until now. This breakthrough helped this woman lose 21 pounds in 9 days. It's backed and published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. So this isn't some, opinion on my part. Listen, not that you care, but it's important you understand. I'm not just some guy. I'm a nutritional researcher for 23 years, 4 best-selling books, some of the biggest medical doctors in the world, 20 shows on public broadcasting, and 1,500 live lectures around the world in hospitals and universities. We're bringing you the research. We didn't create this, but we're bringing it to you. Just imagine, okay? Imagine you can lose, the minimum people are losing on this is 5 pounds a week. Let that sink in. How many of you, put it in the chat, would love to lose 5 pounds a week? On diets, you all get excited. Maybe you lose a half a pound, or maybe initially you lose a pound a week. But look, she lost 21 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days, and she's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. Are any of you curious about how she did this? Are you serious, yes or no, about losing weight? Or do you just want to follow the mainstream, which is telling you it's all about calories in, calories out, calorie deficit? There's a poor guy on here, I see him now. Now he's stuck. He's lost like 100 pounds. He still weighs almost 500 pounds. So last week, they were all cheering him on. He gained 2 or 3 pounds. What's happening is, once the body realizes that you don't have enough nutrition, not calories, your body can't count a calorie. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. So I'm going to explain to you now hello, Nars and Marcy and No. Let me talk about, before all of you lose interest, what did they do? What makes this so different? By the end of this, I should vanish 5 pounds a week. Marcy, no, you don't understand. You get to a certain point, the body hits its equilibrium and it stops. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. I don't understand why, in the face of real medical proof, which is what I'm holding in my hand, 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies, for you, Marcy, and everybody else, this is not some, gimmick here. We don't have it. We don't sell anything. There's no like, what's the bottom line? What are you trying to sell? So we're not selling you a damn thing. We're scientists. We're bringing you, the world is in crisis. Obesity now, according to Johns Hopkins Medical School right here, study predicts obesity apocalypse by 2030. In 4.5 years, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight, obese, and 50% of those will be pre-diabetic. So do you think we should still keep counting calories and do paleo, keto? You're just fooling yourselves. I'm not trying to be mean. We're trying to help you. We're giving you, number one, a free website right above our head, free, the New Health Conversation. You all can see it there. And again, if we can get some taps and get some likes going, you're going to find out this podcast at least is serious. We're scientists. We're not giving you a bunch of sales pablum. Nobody else, you show me anybody else on social media with one shred of medical evidence. Who would it be? I haven't seen it yet. And yet you're all following this calories in, calories out. I'm struggling. I lose gain, Marcy. Right, I'm on your side, Marcy. Please understand that, okay? All of you. You have an unbelievable opportunity to change your lives. And take a few minutes, just take a few minutes to come on and to see the impact of what this information could do for you. We didn't create this. Let me get to it right away because I know most of you are impatient. So Marcy and all of you, okay? Let me first explain to you, diets are doomed to failure. I even have here Harvard Medical School. Is that good enough for all of you? Stop counting calories. We've been taught that losing weight is a matter of simple math. Cut calories 3,500, you lose a pound. But as it turns out, the experts are learning that this decades-old strategy is completely wrong. The idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not just antiquated, it is wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. These researchers who created this, it was not us. What they did, they had done 100 studies on human beings over 40 years. They were hired to assess keto, paleo, every kind of diet you can imagine. Do you know what they found in 40 years? They never found a diet, not one, where people lost weight and kept it off long term, and 2/3 of everybody gained more weight than they lost. Does that sound, look, I mean, we have a few people on here. I'm happy that you're here. But it's gonna take me 2 or 3 minutes to explain to you what they did. But always, you all have the option, visit the New Health Conversation. It's a free medical website. There's nothing on there to buy. It's only the medical proof, and we won't contact you if you go there. And notice, free coaching. You think that's a gimmick? Free coaching. The consultation's free, the coaching's free, all the way to get you to maintenance. That's what this protocol is called, R2M, race to maintenance. So Marcy, that very yo-yo thing you're doing, I'm going to explain to you why that's happening, okay? So here's what happens on diets, everybody. Does anyone even know what a calorie is? I want the medical definition, if anybody knows. Hell, I didn't know what it was 25 years ago before I became a researcher. And in a year's time, over 1,000 podcasts that I've done, I do about 4 or 5 a day, 7 days a week. You do the math. I've had 12 people ever give me the definition of a calorie. And yet you're all being told to count calories. Your body can't count calories. I get in big arguments on social media. These people coming on when I comment about these people weighing 500 pounds, and all of a sudden they're down to 1,500 calories a day, and they gain 2 or 3 pounds. Here's why. Here's why diets fail first. Let's talk about that, and then we'll talk about how out of the failure, these researchers figured out what worked. First of all, a diet is nothing more than reducing the amount of food you consume. What they never tell you is the other thing you're doing that's so dangerous, you're reducing nutrition. Now, why would that be bad? Here's why. You're alive because of 3 things, air, water, and what? Not calories, nutrition. When you lower the amount of food, by definition, you're lowering the amount of, I'm going to tell you to Marcy why you're gaining all the weight back. Once you lower that nutrition, the brain senses that, it freaks out and immediately stops accessing the fuel inside your fat cell and turns to your muscles for fuel. Guess what that does? It slows down your metabolism. Marcy, that's why you're kicking back. But worse, by losing lean muscle, you probably all didn't know this, you also slow down your own immune system. So Marcy, by doing this, you're actually making yourself unhealthy in the long run, right? So the researchers said, here's the flaw of all diets. They're all concentrated on calories in, calories out. The human body has no idea what a calorie is. I'm still waiting for anybody to give me, for the kid to lose weight, it gets hard to drop as you get older. Yeah, oh, really? Look at this guy, 65 years old, 40.8 pounds, 52.5 inches in 30 days. When you get older, hard to lose weight? Yes, on a diet. This is not a diet. This is my whole point. Please, everybody be patient here for a couple minutes so I can explain to you. You can change. Look at that. 40 pounds. Look at his A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides 242 to 124 in 30 days. You think any diet's ever produced anything like this? That's 10 pounds a week at 65 years of age. I mean, it's just so crazy. And look at this wonderful lady, 200 pounds in a year, and she's kept it off. Where's the loose skin, everybody? This is real. This is going to change the world. It could change your life. Spend 2 or 3 more minutes with me and let me explain to you what they did. All right, so let's come back to Kristen. See, the reason that I'm showing her picture, she only needed to lose 30 pounds. She lost 21 pounds in a month. Please put it in the chat, any of you. Marcy, how about losing 5 pounds a week with no, oh, by the way, no one was allowed to exercise. They actually wore Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. So here's what they did. They said, we're going to come up with a new protocol because they did 100 studies over 40 years, thousands of people, and never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off because everybody was counting calories and ignoring the fact that all a diet is reducing the amount of food, which reduces the amount of nutrition, which causes the brain to shut down the access to fuel in your fat cell and turns to your muscles for fuel, slowing down your metabolism. So what they did, they said, we're going to find a new approach. We're abandoning calories. There's no calorie counting on this, by the way. The researchers picked the foods that they used in the studies. You literally will get a grocery list if you decide to do it. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But only 30, whatever you bought last month, you're only going to buy 30% this month. And those include proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But instead of giving you calorie amounts, they give you serving sizes. Very important. Don't worry about being hungry. Your hunger does not come from lack of calories. Your hunger comes from lack of nutrition. Once you get that concept, it's all going to make sense to you. Okay, so, well, only 30% of the food you would consume in a month you buy from your grocery store. What about the other 70%? This was the secret to why this worked. These researchers found other researchers who for 20 years had gone around the world to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet in the Himalayas, in Nepal, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition that you can't buy in your grocery store. So now they had the elements that she was going to consume, right? 30% from her grocery store list, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, and 70% from these exotic foods around the world that the researchers call the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. There's so much nutrition in this that unless you're on prescription for iron or calcium, you need no other supplements, okay? Then they invented, this will sound crazy to all of you, a brand new way, hi Bertha and MR2. They found a new way of eating, and they got a registered trademark on this U.S. Patent Office called protein pacing. You all can look it up. So the idea was in 7 days, they figured that they were going to try, did it matter the timing of when you ate? Something like this ridiculous time-restricted eating, which is nothing more than just a way to reduce your calories. So what they did, 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started breakfast with the world's most perfect meal from these foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from the world's most perfect meal. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store, only these world's most perfect meals. But this time, she ate 8 times a day. Yes, she was eating every hour and a half or 2 hours. The diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes. Now, here's the thing that should interest you. The last reason to do this is to lose weight. That's for us, that's not even up for debate. We know that's going to happen. This is the most comprehensive medical evaluation for health ever done. What did they look at in the studies? Blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, muscle composition, body composition, liver enzymes, blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, and even brain function. What they found was shocking. Number one, the number one reason to do this is detoxification. And they proved through the blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis that this was helping the body rid itself of the chemicals that, in case you didn't know it, you're storing herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon inside your fat cells. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons you all complain to us so much about not just how much weight you've gained, but how much fat you have in your body. To protect us, the body doesn't know what else to do. The immune system can't deal with these chemicals that are just in our world. They're here. Hell, go look it up. Microplastics in your brain. 2 months ago, they came out and said they're finding microplastics in our brain and in our coronary arteries, along with herbicides and pesticides. So they proved that this was assisting the body in removing the chemicals. See what happens, and here's another big misconception. I can't believe that people don't want to know how to do this. It's just so crazy. They'd rather count calories, lose weight, gain it all back, and go look for a new diet on January 1st. It's insane to me, but whatever. Who's ever here is supposed to be here. So what they proved was as we ingest these chemicals, the fat cells, which you're born, by the way, you don't burn fat on a diet or exercise. Total nonsense. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and those fat cells expand or contract over your lifetime. Obviously, look at her stomach on day 1, everybody. Look at the bulge, and then look at day 30. That's with no exercise allowed. That's the evidence of the detox, but it's not anecdotal because in the medical studies, it's proven, it's published in these huge medical studies that it's a detox, number one. Number two, for the first time ever, they saw inflammation come down 25% in 30 days. 25%, right? And then all the other hunger came down 40%. The diabetics on this, their need for insulin came down 41% in a month, ending up with the diabetics who are on meds with the help of the doctors. They had to cut their meds by 50% in 30 days. But here's the other big one here, is maintenance. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. Now, maintenance, I'll tell you how simple it is. Like this morning, I did this 23 years ago. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. I've already had breakfast this morning, the world's most perfect meal from these foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. I'll have lunch in a few hours and dinner tonight. And then every couple months, I'll do another of the 48 hours where I only consume these world's most perfect meals 8 times a day. That's the essence of it. It's not a diet. It's not about counting calories. Again, I'd love for anybody, how do I remove the stuff from the arteries? George, it's a question of your body doing it, but you have to empower your body. The problem that we have is our food is so nutritionally bankrupt that it won't. We have a natural, a natural built-in detoxification system in our body. Every night, like last night when you went to sleep, George, as long as you didn't eat too late, once you went to sleep, your body slows down your digestion and turns on a natural detox mechanism called autophagy when the body gets rid of the dead cells. Now, I would never promise you that it would clean out your arteries. I'm not going to make medical claims, but again, you could certainly discuss with the coaches. We have a lot of people that are no longer on Lipitor or whatever it is that they were taking for that particular instance, okay? And I invite all of you to go look the website right above our head. It's free to go. It's a free website. Does everybody see that? The New Health Conversation? If you go there, there's nothing to buy. If you go there, we will not contact you. But if you go there and you like what you see, you can scroll down. You notice it says free coaching. How much is coaching, everybody? It's zero. It's free. The consultation, the coaching, all the way through is free. We all got coached. I mean, if you think we're fooling around here, we're not. We have nothing to sell. We have no products. We don't sell you. You're buying food from the grocery store or these exotic foods but you're buying directly from those researchers who found these foods in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. I mean, you can go on a diet and count calories and you're going to lose weight and gain it all back. I mean, honest to gosh, does anybody really think that any diet, tell me any diet you think actually works long term, what would it be? Sylvia Zumba Queen, amazing. Wow, yeah, I know, Sylvie. It's exactly right. But who in the world thinks that, would anybody like to put in the chat, tell me a diet you think that works long term? There's never been a study showing. As a matter of fact, I'll read one of the big studies. Well, how about Medicare, everybody, right? Listen to what they're saying about diets, because they're trying to bring healthcare costs down. So if anybody had an incentive to find something that worked, it would be Medicare. They said, Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. Our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies showed that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. Again, for all of you, going down the list here, stop scrolling. What we're going to talk about makes every diet obsolete. Why would you continue to believe nonsense? Don't believe your lying eyes. Go to the, I mean, if you're lucky enough still, if it's warm enough where we are, go to the beach. Look at America. Look at the world. 2.5 billion people worldwide are overweight and 1 billion are clinically obese. Do you really believe diets work? This does. And it's not just a sales gimmick. It's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Nobody else has that. Do you understand? Nobody. Why are you following things with no medical proof? None. Zero. Why? Because that's all that was available to you before today. And I'm not saying that to brag. We don't sell you anything. So I don't have some magic lotion potion I'm going to give you. You're going to consume food, about 30% from your grocery store, and you're going to get a list of that. And the other 70% come from these exotic locations in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. You can't buy those foods at your grocery store. Those nutrients don't exist in, most regions of the world. And some of these foods come from these areas called blue zones where people live to be 100 years old. That's what I want to do. Who would like to ask me a question? I don't understand. Do I suck? I don't understand why people don't understand. This is a secret to life. Weight loss affects so many other things ultimately in the long run, whether it's your discs or your hips or your knees or your arteries or your mental acuity. Do you all understand that? Do you think it's just, we've come to a point where we just think, well, okay, we're going to, it's okay. It's not okay. Right now, 92.3% of you are what's called metabolically unhealthy, according to the Center for Disease Control. What does that mean? It means if you have 3 of these 5 factors, you're considered metabolic unhealthy: overweight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. All 5 of those came down dramatically in these studies. It's not just her. We are one but many. Okay, we are men, said hi. I'm saying we are one but many, said hi. Listen, all of you. Do you want to change? Do you want to keep? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about diets. Just don't work. Here's another big study titled "Why You Shouldn't Count Calories." The research has said the truth is calorie counting is a terrible approach for weight loss. While counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's even worse, they said 2/3 of people try to count and restrict calories gain back more weight than they lost. You all know you've experienced that, or you're about to experience it. Does anyone think that there's something wrong? That from 1995 to 2025, right now, the obesity rates in this country have doubled? Doubled? Do you think it's normal to have 2.5 billion people in the world now overweight, and 1 billion of those are clinically obese? This thing is, it's just insanity. This is the biggest threat to mankind ever. What would be bigger? Look at your friends, your neighbors. It's an epidemic. Well, John Hopkins says it's an apocalypse. We're going to be at 86% overweight and obese in 4 years, and 50% of those people are going to be pre-diabetic. This is crazy. And then you look at Julie, 35 pounds in 37 days. Everyone, were you trying to tell me any diet you've ever seen anything like that? Who would it be? I don't even see these people weighing 500 pounds losing 35 pounds in 37 days. They're on calorie-restricted diets. The problem is their failure is going to be the damn thing they're doing. Dieting doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, period. And now we have the medical proof to back it up. You can ignore it. There's lots of people, they come on for like 2 minutes and then they jump off. And then look at this 65-year-old man, 40 pounds and 52.5 inches in 30 days. Look at his blood sugar. Look at that. A1C 8.4 to 6.4 triglycerides, 242 to 124 in 30 days, everyone. 30 days, not 30 weeks. Come on, that's 10 pounds a week. Now, you can think it's photoshopped. You can think we're lying. If you do, you're on the wrong podcast. I couldn't be more serious. You're on the wrong. If you don't think this is real, but here's why we can back it up. It's published in the biggest medical journals in the world, things like for health and weight loss, the Obesity Journal, the Frontiers in Physiology, Nutrients, Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, and Nature Communications, one of the largest medical journals in the world. And the study that they did had nothing to do with weight loss. It was titled Gut Microbiome Remodeling, Metabolic Profile Improves in Response to Protein Pacing and Intermittent Nutritional Fasting. How many of you have gut issues? How many of you don't even understand you have something called malabsorption, which means that, yes, you're getting nutrients from your food, but you can't, the it has a tough time absorbing them. That'd be a layman's word to explain it to all of you. Well, all I can tell you is wonderful. We are one but many. Okay. Here's the thing. The dogma. Let's call it the dogma. Okay. Right now, can anybody tell me a diet that's not some form of calories in, calories out? That's what you're all being told. But here's the problem with that. We are one but many, and the rest of you. Can anyone even give me the definition? What's the medical definition of a calorie? I've had 12 people get it right I've done 1,000 podcasts in the last like 12, 14 months. I do 3 or 4 days, 7 days a week. You do the math. A calorie is not a real thing. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want to empower all of you to go and look it up. And I don't understand why people are not thinking. The only reason they would drop off, I believe, or not come on in the first place is they think somehow that we're making things up, or this is, is something that's not real. But again, I'd love to ask any of you, or the people that are still left, what diet do you think you're going on where you're going to lose weight and keep it off long term and not lose lean muscle mass and not slow down your own metabolism, immune system? These diets are making you unhealthy. I know that's a very unpopular opinion to take and to give to all of you. That's why people don't stick on here. But Bertha Phil, I said hi. George McMillan, We're One Beauty. We're one beauty, the unit by which we burn energy. No. Try again. We are one but many. That's not true. No, that's not I want the technical definition, the actual definition. No, that's not right. I didn't know what it was 25 years ago, so I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just making a point. We're all counting calories, and the majority of you have no idea what a calorie even is. Why are you counting calories? Can anybody tell me? Please, this is an open forum. I'll answer. Amanda or Slim or Dalen, if you want to ask me a question, I'm here. I mean, look at this, everybody. Look at this young woman. 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. That's 5 pounds a week. So it's not just short-lived. It's not like Kristen over here. Yeah, she lost 21 pounds in 38 days. She only had 30 pounds to lose. She lost 21 pounds in 30 days. But you would think, oh, well, that's just in the beginning. It's unhealthy to lose that much weight that fast. No, it's not. Well, number one, can anyone name a diet where you're going to lose 5 pounds a week? Please put it in the chat. Tell me what it would be. Tell me what it would be. GM, I'm not sure what Slim Bailey, I'm not sure what GM means. Are you talking about the gym? No, that doesn't work. Diet and exercise has never, ever, ever been proven to keep weight off long term. I'm sorry to tell you that. As a matter of fact, it's detrimental to your health in the long run, to be quite honest. And the research on, again, exercise is great for cardiovascular, but as a tool to lose weight long term, it doesn't work. So who else would like to? I'm sorry, I keep missing the website. Okay, Amanda, do you see it right above her head? Visit the new health conversation. Or let me see if I can put it in the chat for you as well, Amanda. Give me a yes, Amanda, if you can see that above her head. And it's free to go there, Amanda. And we will not contact any of you if you go there. Okay, I'm going to put it. Hopefully it'll post here. Let's see. Okay, there it is, the new health conversation. Did you see it? A calorie is a unit of measurement of energy humans use. Let's see. No, you're close, Slim. No, I want the real definition, okay? GM, good morning. Okay, great, Slim. I got it, thank you, right. Listen, everyone. Okay, it's a great question. I don't want to look the definition up on Google, a unit of energy. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm sorry. But okay, look, not to make everybody crazy, okay? My point is, you're counting calories and you don't understand what a calorie even is. But forget us as human. The brain has no idea what a calorie is. It has no way of counting calories, measuring calories. It doesn't give a damn about a calorie. My point is, what these researchers figured out was that calories to lose weight is a failed policy. Let me explain it to you again. We are one but many, and the rest of you, Amanda, Slim, or Dalen. So listen to me carefully. What is a diet really? I don't care what name you want to use, at some point, you're reducing the quantity of food you're consuming. I hope we have a consensus on that. Did you ever even consider the fact, and that's what these researchers did, that when you lower the amount of food you're consuming, by definition, what else you're lowering? Nutrition. When your brain, now, in case you didn't know, you're alive because of air, water, and not calories, nutrition. All your organs in your body run on what? Not calories, nutrition. When your brain senses you've reduced the amount of food, so you got to reduce the amount of nutrition, the brain thinks you're starving to death. From a nutritional standpoint, you are. So what does it do to preserve us, to keep us alive? There's not enough fuel to run. I don't want my heart to stop, do you? Do you want your lungs to stop working? So the brain freaks out, it goes in starvation mode, and immediately the main source of energy in our body is inside the fat cell, not the fat cell itself. It shuts that access down, and now it needs fuel. Where does it start? With what's called catabolic metabolism. Yeah, catabolic metabolism. It eats your muscles for fuel. And that is not enough. Then the brain has to slow down your metabolism. That's why you gain all the weight back. It's not your fault. It's the wrong damn premise. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy what we're doing. I can't believe all these smart people, I don't know what's wrong with them, why they didn't invent this. In fairness, the researchers who did do this, it took them 40 years to figure out diet after diet after diet. People would lose weight. 2/3 of them gained more weight than they lost on any diet analyzed in 40 years. 100 studies, thousands of people. Is that enough evidence for all of you? Diets don't work. Do you get it? Because they're based on counting calories. Why aren't they based on how much nutrition you need? If you drop below the minimum amount of nutrition you need to run your organs, your brain will shut down your access to the fuel in your fat cell and turn to your muscles. And slowing down your own immune system. Why? Because there's not enough fuel to run everything. It's like a power, like a big thunderstorm when the power goes out in the hospitals. The generators come on and the lights are on, but very dim. That's the same kind of way your body. Why do you think you're all complaining to us about, God, I'd love to have more energy? Because the other thing you have to understand, our food in general is becoming I'll be kind, it's nutritionally insufficient. Cornell University did a study on spinach, iron levels from 1957 to 2020. They said one bowl of spinach in 1957, by 2020, you would need 20 bowls of spinach to equal the nutrition. Why are you kidding yourselves? Do you really think that our diets are working? Really? Do you really believe that? How did we? I mean, in 30 years from 1995 to 2025, despite hundreds of more diets, obesity rates have doubled. What do you think you're doing, everybody? It's not your fault. You have the wrong approach. It's like there's a square hole and you got a round peg, and all they keep doing is giving you a bigger hammer. That round peg will never fit. I mean, this calorie counting thing, it doesn't work. Do you get it? It doesn't work. Period. End of the story. You could change your whole lives by going to that website right above our head. Visit the New Health Conversation. It's free to go there. We won't even contact you. Why wouldn't you go there, everybody? What's holding you back? It doesn't matter what you think about me. It's not my research. And what you're going to see on there are the medical studies. Let me show you the site right now so you all know I'm not making things up. If you want, go to Google, type in the New Health Conversation. Right there, you can see it. The New Health Conversation. Okay? And it'll take you, there's the link in Google, the New Health Conversation. There's the website. There's nothing to buy on that website. The only thing there is the medical proof. Like number one is an exclusive podcast with rated the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. Do you think maybe you'd want to listen to him? They invented this, and they have no products. They have no company. You don't buy anything from us. 30% of what you're going to buy is from your grocery store. But they picked the foods, and they gave you serving sizes, not calories. There's no calorie counting on this protocol. Why? Because the body has no idea what calories are. Why the hell are you counting calories? Pardon my French. Yeah, I get very animated and very enthusiastic for all of you. Do you really, honest to gosh, can anybody know what else to do except we're providing you free knowledge, free access to the information, and promoting this like time-restricted eating, which is total nonsense. I mean, with all due respect, they're selling you recipes. And you're charging like $500 a year for recipes and $50 a month to coach you. And it doesn't work. It's nonsense. They'll show you before and afters. They don't have one shred of medical evidence. And the medical evidence on time-restricted eating is horrible. Here's Journal of the American Medical Association, 3-month study on this. You don't eat, just fast for 16 hours, eat for 8. I hope none of you have been duped into that stupid thing. And they said, our researchers at JAMA found that overweight adults who routinely fasted 16 hours daily in 3 months gained almost no benefit from it, lost 2 to 3 pounds, and most of the weight they shed was lean muscle mass. Hello. It's nothing more than another diet. At some point, don't we just have to say enough is enough? You can tell me I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. And the main reason I did this wasn't even the weight. I had some real, well, I'll tell you, and this is my story, so don't convolute it any other way. My heart attack, well, my cholesterol was 400, my triglycerides were 300, I was 40 pounds overweight, and my risk of a heart attack was at 85% within 18 months. When I went on this, I was pretty desperate. Well, the doctor first put me on a diet. And after 8 weeks, I lost 8 pounds, and I was on, high dose of statins, and my cholesterol came down about 15 points. I went on this in 4 days. I lost 8 pounds in 4 days, 12 pounds in 9 days, 20 pounds in 18 days, 30 pounds in a month, 40 pounds in 7 weeks. Went back 8 weeks later for my follow-up. That was the normal schedule. My doc comes in, throws my chart down, says, "You trying to kill yourself?" I said, "Why?" He said, "How much meds you taking?" I said, I'm not advocating you do this. I'm telling you what I did. I said, "I haven't touched that stuff." He said, "Well, the lab made a mistake." I said, "How so?" He said, "Well, your cholesterol's gone from 400 to 120. Your triglycerides gone from 300 to 30. You've lost 40 pounds. We think you've got some, disease." I said, you're not retesting me. But also, I have another huge reason that maybe some of you, why diets are failing a second edition, is that I wrote it. Amanda, I wrote it. That's my book. It's right here, Amanda. How about that, Amanda? And we don't sell any books on the website, so don't get on me about that. I didn't encourage her to go searching that. So Amanda, I've actually written 4 books. The other thing that I want to share with all of you, right? The new health conversation. Yeah, exactly. We're only one. And great question. I don't want to look at the definition. Okay. So this is what we all suffer from. And Amanda, just to let you know, the T is for toxins, the D is for nutritional deficiency, the O is for being overweight, and the S is for stress. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office of a new medical condition. Oh, Peter Greenlaw, who's that? Oh, that's me. I did. I'm credited with this discovery. And I'm not trying to brag, but I want you to understand, I'm not just some guy. I'm not just somebody up here, giving you, here's some recipes. It's nonsense. And with all due respect, show me a medical doctor, show me a chiropractor, show me a dietitian, show me a nutritionist, show me with all the PhD and all the credentials after their name, and show me any of their work or any of what they're claiming published in any of the biggest medical journals in the world. It doesn't exist. But how many of you would be disappointed with 20 pounds in a month? Please put it in the chat. Who would be disappointed with that? 5 pounds a week. That's the low average. You're low. And then you got people like Curtis, 40 pounds in a month. 40, everybody. That's 10 pounds a week. And then Andy, a younger guy, look at him. 45 pounds. But look at their blood work. Their A1C, 7.9 to 6.2. Bad cholesterol, 120 to 59 in a month. Do you all get it? This is a health system. It is not a diet. The number one reason to do this is not to lose the weight. That's like for us, that's the default. That's going to happen anyway. The average weight loss in this with no exercise is 5 pounds a week. Did you hear me, everybody? 5 pounds a week. Please put it in the chat. Anybody. Oh, you don't have to. That's nice of you, Amanda, but I don't want that to be Amanda, the most important thing is you understand all of you can go see right above her head, visit the New Health Conversation. I'm going to show it all to you again. So you go to Google, you type in the New Health Conversation as people drop off. It's just so. It's frustrating for me, I guess, because we just want to help as many people as we can. There's the website. There's nothing to buy on there. The only thing on there is the medical proof, including #1 is an exclusive podcast with the #1 weight loss researcher in the world, who he and his team invented this. And they have no products to sell. They have no company. Their goal was to change the world, which they're doing. So, but, I just think when you look at 60 pounds in 3 months, now, look at her face. Look at her arms. Look at her body. Look at that, everyone. What do you all think about that? This is real, everybody. I don't know. Listen, Do you all understand the significance of peer-reviewed human trial medical studies? For example, no drug ever passes with like a scientific study or a clinical study. No, it has to be on human beings. They take a long time, they cost a lot of money, and then they submit it to the medical journals. The medical journals are our last line of defense. What they literally do, they hire other world-class experts to examine the studies. And their main job is to prove that what you're claiming is not real. There is no other diet with 10 peer-reviewed human. It doesn't exist. Do you understand? Why aren't they doing it? Why isn't the person you're following that's telling you to do time-restricted eating, why doesn't he have any peer-reviewed human trial studies? I'll tell you why. Because the claims they're making are what are called unsubstantiated. I mean, they can't be backed up in the medical world. You all, look, the main reason to do this is for your health. The main reason to do this is to, don't you want the best health you could possibly have? Don't you want to be the best version of yourself? Oh, and by the way, you'll fit in your skinny jeans. That's cool. But that's the least important reason to do this. So I want to encourage all of you to go to that website if you want to, okay? Now, I'm not ending now. Maybe some of you wish I would because we got new people coming on all the time. So Amanda, Slim, Shayra, did you get to understand what this is and why it's not a diet? It has nothing to do with that. But the other thing you also understand, it's totally sustainable. Her picture, it's 8 or 9 years ago. She's kept the weight off. Every person I'm showing you has been able to, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. Shouldn't that excite all of you? Who else would like to ask me a question before I do another run through to explain from scratch how they're doing this? It's not a diet, anyone. This is not another paleo, keto, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, any of that fasting. No. Carb counting, macro counting. Do you understand how pitiful the results really are on these diets? Well, I guess I'm going to show you. Now, here's the good thing about what I do. Everything I'm sharing with you is in the public domain because I'm very sensitive to the censors on social media that monitor, their community guidelines. Because we don't state anything that we can't back up. We don't state anything that you can't go and look up yourself. So this is in the Journal of the American Medical Association, okay? This was a 12-month study. Listen carefully, everybody. They looked at, the title of the study was Comparison of Weight Loss Among Named Diet Programs in Overweight and Obese Adults. They looked at 48 random trials, 7,286 people in 12 months. Got it? 7,286 people. And they named all the major diets right in the study: paleo, keto, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, water fasting, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, the Cornish diet, the Zone diet, Scarsdale. They looked at them all in 12 months. Now, this is from the study. The most amount of weight loss anybody lost on any diet was 16 pounds in a year. On some of these diets, people lost 11 pounds in a year. That's not even a pound a month. And all the people, when they measured it, 25 to 40% of the pounds they lost was lean muscle mass, which is the whole point of why you yo-yo on diets. When you use your muscles for fuel, which is what happens on these diets, your brain slows down your metabolism. That's why you plateau in these diets. That's why you gain all your weight back. I mean, you can fool yourself because initially you're going to lose weight on any of these diets. That's not up for debate. But then it basically stops, and then the weight starts to come back. You've experienced, I know you have. People on here today even said, I lose it, gain it back, lose it, gain it back. Yeah, because it's a diet that can't possibly work from a metabolic standpoint in your body. You're telling your brain that now it's got to run all the organs in the body with less fuel. Not just your brain, but your heart, your lungs, your kidney. They don't run on calories. They don't have any idea what a calorie is. It's the dumbest. See, people get mad at me. You don't know what you're talking about. Of course, the only way to lose weight is 1,500 calories a day. What an idiotic statement. Let me give you a better example, and then I promise I'm going to walk you through exactly what they did, right? So let's assume their argument, just cut down to 1,500 calories. Okay, then let's have two different diets. Remember, they're saying it only matters how many calories you're consuming. You got it, everybody? So behind door number one is 1,500 calories, proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, etc. Remember, they're only saying it matters about the number of calories. Behind door number two, it's 1,500 calories. 3 bags of M&Ms. It's so crazy that you would fall for this trick. And they believe it. That's the problem. They believe that counting calories actually works. It's so stupid. I don't like using that word. I'm sorry, I didn't mean stupid. I meant just it's very frustrating as a researcher to look at this and just say, why don't people see this? Why don't they see that right here? I have it. John Hopkins study predicts obesity apocalypse. In 4 years, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese, according to John Hopkins Medical School. 86% of you. Does that sound like the diet you're on now is going to work? Stop deluding yourself. You have great intentions. You want to lose weight and get healthier. But what are you doing to do it? Right? Why, with 2 bariatric surgery, will this work? Yes, Slim, absolutely work. Because you have to understand, Bailey, it's not, can I get this point across? It has nothing to do with the quantity of the food you're consuming. And that's one of the problems with bariatric surgery. Because the main thing you're not getting is enough nutrition. And Bailey, you have to understand, your body doesn't know what a calorie is. We are supporting lots of people that had bariatric surgery, and sadly, they're gaining back significant or all their weight. Because again, when they went back to eating, they didn't understand. And by the way, to support you, Slim, Bailey, we now know that in obese people, the mechanism that turns off your hunger, okay, it's called ghrelin. And it's inside, no, it's not. I misspoke. I'll think of it in a moment. It slipped out of my mind. It's, okay. Anyway, there's a mechanism in your body that tells you, one tells you you're hungry, and the other one tells you, leptin. Leptin tells you you're full. Well, what they're finding now in the research in obese individuals, there's so much leptin in the body that the brain doesn't know, turn off, so it still thinks you're hungry. But you're not hungry, because you've never been hungry for food. You've been hungry for nutrition. So the point is, Slim, that you can go on this, and even with bariatric, where you got the limited size, let's say, of your stomach, but your stomach doesn't, it's not about what the quantity of the food you're consuming, everybody. It's about how much nutrition you can get into your body. Does that make sense, Slim? Give me a, Slim, are you saying thank you? Yeah. Slim, am I making sense to any of you, to the people that we do have on here? How many of you are really, really serious about losing weight and keeping it off forever? So Slim, obviously, did you have bariatric surgery, Slim? I'm just curious how much weight you lost and how long it took you and where you are currently and where you'd like to go. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I'm here to help people. Our coaching's free. This podcast is free. The website right above my head, you all can see it for the new people coming on. Shia or Isis or whoever, visit the New Health Conference. See it right above her head in blue, the New Health. It's a free medical website, free. And then you get free, if you go there and you like what you see, because we won't contact you on my kids' lives and my grandkids' lives. We're not going to contact you if you go there, because we want you to make the decision. Look at the medical proof. If it backs up everything I'm saying, then scroll down and get a free coach. How much is the coaching, everybody? Free. How much is the consultation? Free. How much is the coaching to get you to your goals? Free. We all got coached. And thank goodness we got lots of people, including medical doctors and RNs and physician's assistants and dietitians and nutritionists, they're wanting to help us coach you. The coaching's free. You couldn't do this without a coach. You don't know. You need to get a grocery list, 30% of what you're going to buy that you bought last month. Only 30% you get from your grocery store. You get a list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But instead of calorie amounts, you get serving sizes. Does everybody understand that? And back to you again, Slim, understand. Yeah, but I'm still struggling. Okay, it was 396, 310. Okay, how tall are you, Slim, Bailey? And how long did that take you to go? So you lost basically 86 pounds. Yeah, you lost 86 pounds. Congratulations. But I'm curious, how long did it take you? All right, so Bailey, just give me that answer when you get a chance. But I want it for everybody else that's new. So here's what they did. First of all, who invented it? They're rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world, the number one team. They had done 100 studies in thousands of people over 40 years. They never found a diet that ever worked long term. You got it? Never. So what they said, there's a failure with diets. Pretty obvious, right? The failure was that all diets are based on some form of counting calories, which the body has no idea what a calorie is. Instead, your body, you're alive because of three things: air, water, not calories, nutrition. So the researchers, when they created this, what they did, and the reason she was so successful, or all of them are, was, I'll show you, everybody can see Kristen, this is probably more, 21 pounds in a month, and she only had 30 pounds to lose, and she lost 38 inches. Look at her stomach on day 1, look at her stomach on day 30. She was not allowed to exercise. They wore Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise, because otherwise you would have said, well, she lost weight because it was diet and exercise, like The Biggest Loser, which is now turning out to be a disaster. Go to Netflix, look at the documentary now on The Biggest Loser. It'll shock you. Some of those people lost 220 pounds. They've gained back 250. It's a disgrace what happened. You be the judge. Go to Netflix. I don't have anything to do with Netflix, and watch The Biggest Loser, and you'll understand you're doing a version of what they did. Diets don't work. They don't work, okay? Been at it since 2016, but you're 6'1", okay? But so you've been at it for 9 years, but initially to lose the 86 pounds, how long did that take you, Bailey? That's what I want to know, okay? So okay, for the rest of you, I promise it's only going to take me 2 minutes to explain to you what happened. So the researchers said, we are not going to allow anybody to count calories. Your body can't count a calorie. It doesn't know what a calorie is. I would challenge almost all of you, try to give me the medical definition of a calorie. I've done over 1,000 of these podcasts in the last year and a half. I've had 12 people ever give me the medical definition of a calorie. You're all counting calories on these diets. Why are you doing that? It's the most ridiculous thing that ever happened. Okay, now, so the researchers said the key to life is real simple. You need a minimum amount, not of calories, but of nutrition in order to run all your organs, including your brain, your heart, your kidney, your liver. They run on nutrition. They don't run on calories. So when you go into something like you're talking about there, Slim, with bariatric surgery, it's a very, very low amount of nutrition that you're getting. I think you know, Bailey, that all those people that I've ever seen on bariatric surgery need significant amounts of of skin removed. Look at this lady here, Bailey, 200 pounds in less than a year. She's kept it off for 7 or 8 years. Look at her. There's no surgery involved. She had no surgery whatsoever. There's nothing like this, everybody, on the planet. But let's come back to Kristen for just a moment. So what they basically did, they said, we need to find foods with one criteria: high levels of nutrition. So the researchers, not us, put together a food list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables that you'd buy from your grocery store, all organic. So take your budget last month, whatever you spend on food, only 30% of that would be at your grocery store, okay? The other 70% of the money you have left would go to buy from these other researchers who had gone around the world for 20 years. Now, why this is so important to you, pay attention. They went to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but smaller quantities of food. Remember, it has nothing to do with the amount of food you're consuming. It only has to do with the amount of nutrition that you're getting. So now they had the basis of what she was going to do. So they invented, using these food groups, because they were based on nutrition, a complete new way of eating that had never been done before. So listen to this, Bailey and everybody else. Essentially what they did, out of 7 days, 5 of the days, she had 4 meals a day. Starting with these exotic foods around the world, which the researchers have called the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. To give you an idea, the researchers said, unless you're on a prescription for low iron or low calcium, you need no other supplements. No other supplements. Those foods supply all the supplements you need. That's breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store list, serving sizes, Bailey, not calorie counting. Dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal, Bailey, after dinner. Now, I understand probably in your mind, based on what you did with bariatric surgery and how little you were eating, etc. It never had anything to do with that. I don't understand why they don't get it. The surgeons, the people involved in this, it's just ludicrous. You can't rely on calories to run your body. It's just silly. Your body has no idea what a calorie is, okay? So what they did, 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day, like I just said. By the way, they got a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office of this new way of eating called protein pacing. You can all look it up. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store. Don't panic, everybody. and only these world's most perfect meals from around the world. But this time she ate 8 times a day, Bailey. Imagine you're eating every hour and a half to 2 hours. But tiny amounts of food on your plate, sort of, but huge amounts of nutrition. And Bailey, I will promise you, the only way you ever get hungry is lack of nutrition. It has nothing to do with the quantity of food you're eating. That's why bariatric surgery works until it doesn't. And that's why the people are gaining all the weight back, because they can't get enough nutrition. And the brain, I'm telling you, when you don't have enough nutrition, it turns your muscles into fuel. That's why they have all the loose skin that you see these people with bariatric, with sleeve, with the balloon, with the whatever they're on, and diets. You all complain to us not just about how much weight you've gained, but how much fat you have in your body. Yes, Bailey, exactly. Exactly. Bailey, at a minimum, Bailey, do yourself a favor. Go to the website and listen to the interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. He and his team created this. They don't sell anything, Bailey. There's no products to buy from us or the researchers. You're buying from your grocery store or from these exotic foods from around the world. Now, what else did they do, Bailey, that's so amazing? For all of you to understand, this protocol, which is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. There's no other diet out there that's published in 10 of them. They're not even published in one journal. And yet you're all following them. Keto and paleo and Mediterranean and time-restricted eating and water fasting, the Cornish diet and zone diet and lose weight for your blood type and Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers and nutrition. None of it works. None of it works. You can't possibly argue when Johns Hopkins Medical School study predicts obesity apocalypse in 4 years, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. How much longer are you going to support the insanity of diets, calories in, calories out? You don't have to do it anymore if you don't want to, or you can do it. We're not here to convince you because we're not selling you anything. We don't have anything to sell you. You're buying food. Don't you have to eat? This program is based on eating. But when you think about deprivation, you're thinking about reducing calories, which is just silly. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. Why are you counting calories? This protocol had nothing. They forbid you. Well, they can't forbid you, but they tell you, we don't want you to. That's why they gave you serving sizes. 30% of what you're going to consume comes from the grocery store, only 30%. So the quantity is smaller. Proteins, fats, carbs, and vegetables. How did they make up for that difference? Because you still got 70% of what you spent last month. And these other researchers, they'd gone around the world, physically gone in over 20 years to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand in search of foods with what? Huge amounts of nutrition, but small amounts of food from a quantity standpoint. And then based on that, they were able to invent a new way of eating. They tried to do this even with organic food, what I'm about to share with you. It didn't work because 5 days a week she was having 4 meals a day, starting in this case with these exotic foods around the world that the researchers call the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. That was breakfast, lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic foods around the world. When they tried to do it with organic, you have to understand that the quantities did not supply the nutrition that the body needed, and therefore all the people gained all the weight back. My God, they've done 100 studies over 40 years. Do you not think they analyzed every kind of diet you've ever seen, been on, etc.? None of them, 0, ever produced long-term sustainable weight loss. That's the thing I want to get across to all of you. You're just kidding yourselves if you think that paleo, keto, Mediterranean, we're not arguing that you lose weight initially. But right here in the studies, here's Medicare. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets, and this is Medicare. Diets are not the answer. Our research has reviewed long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting by lowering calories is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies showed that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. That's what you're all headed for. Now, you can be mad at me. You could say, I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. I'm not part of that. This was scrutinized by the top medical doctors and nutrition researchers in the whole damn world. They're telling you it's safe and it's real. Who else? Please tell me, Slim or anybody else, show me somebody else on social media giving you real medical proof. And someone like you, Slim, it's so sad. You got so far and then it all stopped. But you have to understand some. It's because you've lowered your lean muscle mass. You can't process as much. I mean, it's slowed down your metabolism. That's a good way to think about it. But Slim, you can reignite it, but not with a traditional diet, not with regular food. I mean, and it's so easy to maintain it. I mean, somebody else, it took you lost 86 pounds, congratulations, and it took you 2 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, and I've kept it off for 23 years. And Slim, look at Curtis, a 65-year-old man. Look at that, Slim, 40 pounds. 40 in 30 days and 52 inches. But look at his blood work. See, that's the point. Look at it. A1C 8.4 to 6.4 triglycerides, 242 to 124 in 30 days. Do you all get this? Do you think I'm making things up? I'm not. So Shira or any of you who would like to ask me a question, does it make sense? And you all understand, you can all go, look, this makes every diet obsolete. And look at right there above her head. You'll get free coaching and see the free medical proof at the New Health Conversation. I'm going to show you all again to repeat. Type in the New Health Conversation. See it right there? The New Health Conversation. It'll take you to the link in Google. There it is. Click on it. It's the first one that comes up, the New Health Conversation. There's the website, everybody. There's nothing to buy on there. Not my book, nothing. Number one, it's only the medical proof, including that number one is a podcast with the number one nutrition weight loss researcher in the world. Why wouldn't you want to listen to him? You're listening to these influencers. Some of them are telling you they got 1 million followers, and they're a chef. They're a chef. Nothing against chefs. I love chefs, but they're not nutritional researchers. It's nonsense. It's called borrowed science. What they're doing, they're looking at other, scientific studies of these things. But unless you're published, unless you are published in a medical journal, it means zero in the medical world, zero. You're all doing it. I'd love to know all the diets that you're on. I'm 63. Okay, Bailey. Well, is he serve as inspiration for you? I mean, Bailey, look at that. He lost half of what you, almost a little bit less than half of what you lost. But what about Andy? He did it. Look at him. He lost in 30 days half of what you did in 2 years. And he's kept it off for 7 years. Slim, we would love to help you. Love to be able to help you. Now, Slim, something else that I should tell you and tell all of you. So Slim, you get it. 30% of what you're whatever you spent last month, take 30%. That's all you're going to buy from the grocery store this month. You got it? The other 70%, these exotic foods around the world. Those people, in the first 30 days, Slim, if this doesn't work for you, 100% money back guarantee. How's that sound, Slim? No questions asked. Because nothing is 100%, of course. Basically, what you're doing in this, Slim, you're buying a month's worth of food. That's what you're doing. All of you, you're buying a month's worth of food, but look at the results you're getting. The few people that come onto my podcast, and I'll tell you this, the people who actually end up going to the website, the New Health Conversation, I'd say 100% of them end up doing the protocol. Because it's the medical proof. It's so overwhelming. I mean, again, Slim, if you had known, all I'm saying is before you did gastric bypass, or I assume that's what you did, if you just had been aware of this, at least you could have made a different choice. Maybe you still would have chose gastric bypass. I don't know. But apparently you're living proof that it worked until it didn't. Is that a good way to say it, Slim? You be the one to tell me what you think. And obviously you want to continue. Now you're 310, you're 6'1". I'd like you to weigh, well, you tell me ideally where you think you should be, Slim. And then I'll tell you from a medical standpoint of view where I really believe you can get. So let's see, you're 310, you're 6'1". Go ahead, tell me how much you think you should weigh. No, not even close. Maximum 175, max. I'll tell you how powerful this is, Slim. Probably in the first 4 days, you'll probably lose 8 or 10 pounds. So that 310 to, let's see, be 310, 67. So around 60 pounds at a minimum, Slim. By early November, you'll be down at least 60 pounds. You'll probably lose 20, 25 pounds the first month. Tell me how much that would excite you, Slim. How much would that excite you? If imagine walking into Thanksgiving and you're down 60 pounds, you're at 175, let's say. Would that, yeah, wow. But look at, I'm showing you right here, look at it. You can see it. You can see, well, here's a guy that didn't even have that much. Look at him. Look at that slim, 34 pounds in 29 days. He didn't weigh 310. Look at that. Look at his body composition change. Are you excited, Slim, about the possibility? And Slim, understand it's 100% money back guarantee on 70% of what you're going to. Basically, Slim, you're buying food for a month. That's what you're doing. Don't you have to eat? You understand? You're not buying extra lotions, potions, pills, elixirs, nothing. You're just buying this food which could change your life. Slim, how different would your life be if you were 175? How much more energy do you think you'd have? You think you'd sleep better at night. You think that. And Slim, the other thing you got to understand, I'm in Kingston, Jamaica. How difficult. Oh, you'd have to ship it through Miami. You'd have to have it freight forwarded from Miami. It's not because it's not available everywhere. It just isn't. It's in the United States, Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico. It's in Australia, New Zealand, and in the EU. But it's not available in the Caribbean. It's not available in Africa. It's not available in South America. I have nothing to do with that, Slim. Okay, I have nothing to do with it. But if you have a lot of people in the Caribbean, they're using freight forwarders out of Miami. So that's something you would have to look into. But again, if you can make it go, I can do that. Okay, then that's great. And make sure when you go over with your coaches that obviously they know that, right? And keep in mind, Slim, the consult is free. The whole coaching thing is free. So again, I just like to ask you, how excited would you be if you can get down to 175? Would you think that would make you pretty happy? Especially by early November. It might happen sooner than that, but I'd rather under-promise and over-perform, if that makes sense. Because right now it's what, 10 o'clock your time, aren't you, on Eastern Standard Time? Because it's 7:45 here in Denver. I'm in Denver, Colorado. And you certainly live in a beautiful country. I know that. I have actually my sister-in-law's daughter is dating someone from, I think, Kingston, actually, and just really, really, just your country is just so beautiful. I like the Caribbean in general. Never been to Jamaica, but it's on my bucket list to go there someday. So anyway, Slim, I'm so happy that you're on here and that you're open to the idea. I was 130 and now I'm 180. No matter how much I diet and exercise, I don't lose the weight, which is frustrating. Menopause has made weight gain. Okay, Christine, we have tons and tons and tons of women in premenopause, menopause, etc. I would tell Christine, if you don't mind, how tall are you? And you're 180 currently, so you've gained 50 pounds somehow. I know how, but let's just talk about that here for just a moment. Christine, the reason that I want to know, because I want to give you a realistic expectation about how much weight, how fast, and how you can keep it off. Christine, did you get a chance? Okay, you're 5'2", 180. And what do you think you should weigh, Christine? Thanks for being open, by the way. And what part of are you in North America? Are you in the, somewhere? Well, I just want to make sure that you can get I mean, obviously, 30% of what you're going to consume, Christine, is from your local grocery store, and you get a grocery list of sizes, serving sizes of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But that's only 30% of the food you're going to consume. Yes, now we're getting somewhere. I would say, honestly, I'd like to see it about 120, which means 60 pounds. Okay, Christine, brace yourself. In the first 4 days, you'll probably lose 6 to 8 pounds. In the first month, you're in, good, Puerto Rico. Yes, they ship to Puerto Rico. Absolutely. Oh, you're golden. You're golden. But let me ask you this, Christine. If you step on the scale on the 5th morning, 4 days in, and you're down 8 pounds, what will you think? How much would that incentivize you to continue? Because I want you to lose about 60 pounds. I'd say this, I'm going to be very conservative, but there's no way, if you will follow what we're telling you, that you could be at 120 by early December. Early December. Tell me how much that would excite you. Would that excite you a fair amount? I'm only laughing because it's joy. I mean, we do this all the time. We've helped so many people like yourself, you know? So don't think you're in any way a lost cause. Christine, what you have to understand, you're just doing the wrong thing. Have you been listening to what I've been talking about why diets fail? And obviously you saw, well, look, here you go. 60 pounds in 3 months. Ironically, that's what I want you to lose, right? I just said 180 to 120, 60 pounds. She did it in 3 months. So that would be early December. Got it? Is that cool, Christine? I see those emojis. I think that's happiness, right, Christine? That would be awesome. And Christine, you know what the most expensive part of this is? I tell women this all the time. And I say, the most expensive part of this is the new wardrobe you're going to have to buy. And they go, oh, no, Peter, you don't understand. I can go shopping in my own closet. Oh, my gosh, we would love, 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 love. I just found out about you. From who? Who told you about me? Were you just on TikTok or someone had seen me? Because this podcast now is going all over the world and we're building an audience. It's just really sad that so few people really, I think they dismiss it when they see the results. And look at this one, Chris. I mean, she only had 30 pounds to lose, but how excited, Christine, if you could lose 21 pounds in the first month with no exercise? I mean, would that pretty much do it for you? And you understand this is not unusual. This is normal. Oh, okay. Wonderful. I'm glad. But Christine, just to support you, which I'm more than willing to do, how much did you hear about, did you hear me explain about what's involved? Like you're basically consuming food, but you're consuming it in a whole different way, and the coaching's free and the website's free. Did you hear all of that? Because if not, I will certainly repeat it for you, and we have other new people that are coming on all the time. I mean, your life, I know, would be so different if you could just get the weight off and keep it off, you know? And also, one of the women report the scourges of, premenopause and menopause itself, the hot flashes, the night sweats have gone down dramatically on this product, which is not a diet. It's not a diet, it's a detox. Do you understand, Christine? It 100% is a detox. So again, let me know, did you hear like what foods they consumed and how they did it and when they did it and why it all works? And most importantly, to get you to maintenance. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, Christine, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. 23 years. So how cool is that? I've only seen the last minute. Okay, Christine, so let me explain it to you. So it'll take me 2 or 3 minutes, Christine, so please don't get impatient with me because this could change the rest of your life. The next 3 or 4 minutes could literally change the rest of your life for any of you that are listening. So first of all, we did not invent this. Number 2, there's no products to buy from us. There are no products to buy, period. You're going to get food. And the researchers who did create this, Christine, they had done 100 studies on human beings over 40 years. 40 years. Got it? And what they found was they never found a diet like what you're experiencing and everybody else where people lost weight and were able to keep it off. As a matter of fact, they found that 2/3 of everybody actually ended up gaining more weight than they had lost. I'm going to slim. I'm repeating it right now. So I'm going over for everybody what they did. So let's back up. So the researchers said that calorie counting just simply was a miserable failure. And the reason for that, Christine, and for Slim, is your body can't count calories. It doesn't know what a calorie is. Your body doesn't run on calories. You're not alive because of calories. You're alive because of one factor, nutrition. And think about it, Christine, when you go on a diet, or Slim, when you went on even gastric bypass, you simply lowered the quantity of food you were consuming. But what the bariatric surgeons never told you, that you were lowering nutrition to the point where the brain thought there's not enough nutrition. It went into starvation mode, and immediately Christine and Slim and everybody else, it stopped accessing the fuel inside your fat cell. Now, Christine or Slim, don't anybody ever tell you burn fat on a diet or exercise. It's a total lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and those fat cells expand or contract. Do you understand, Christine? So that's what's happening to all of us, and why so many people, everybody complains to us, not just about how much weight they've gained, but how much fat they have in their body. Slim, I'm sure you experienced that, and Christine, I bet you would agree with that, right? So the researchers said we got to do something different. So on this, Christine or Slim, No calorie counting, none. Instead, the researchers picked foods that had one criteria, the most important criteria to all of us. See, you're alive, all of you, for three reasons: air, water, and nutrition, not calories. So what the researchers said, if that's the case, we have to make sure, can we give you less food, but find foods that have really high levels of nutrition? It's exactly what they did. So here's what you would get, Christine and Slim. You'd get a grocery list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But instead of calorie amounts for each one of those categories, you'd have serving sizes. So if it's protein, it's the number of ounces. If it's a vegetable, is it a third or half a cup? It's all laid out. You get a free list. You take it to the grocery store. So whatever you spent last month total on food, you're only going to spend 30% this month at the grocery store. Well, that leaves 70% of your food budget. And most people tell me that 70% buys from the most important part of this whole thing, from these other researchers, not the people who created this and not from us. We don't sell you anything. But that other 70% of the food comes from these researchers who for 20 years had gone around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, in the Himalayas, in Nepal, South America, New Zealand, to find foods that these people were consuming with huge amounts of nutrition and small amounts of food. They didn't have any obese people in those areas, right? So now they had the two food groups, and here's what made it special. Based on this, remember, they had done 40 years of studies, 100 studies, 1,000, looking at every diet. So they said, we knew that we couldn't do this even with all organic food because there wasn't enough nutrition. And you'd have to give people so much fuel to run the body that you couldn't lose weight. So what they did, they created a new way of eating. 5 days a week, Christine and Slim, you would eat 4 times a day. Your breakfast would be these exotic foods from around the world, from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. Lunch from the grocery store list, you have the list. Dinner from the grocery list, and a fourth meal after dinner from these exotic foods around the world. So 5 days a week, you're eating 4 times a day. 2 days a week, no food from your grocery store at all. Only these exotic foods around the world, but this time you're going to eat 8 times a day. You're going to eat every hour and a half or 2 hours over the course of a whole day. Now, the diabetics on this, not that either of you are diabetic, they had no insulin spikes. Now, here's the part that should excite you even more than the weight loss. This was the most extensive medical evaluation ever done on any diet, nutrition, or health plan. They did things like blood. They did blood, stool, blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis. They looked at brain cognition. They looked at blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides. And for the first time ever, they measured inflammation, which Christine and Slim and me, every one of us suffer from inflammation. It came down 25% in a month. And especially Christine, with you in menopause, et cetera, you've got inflammation. That's not what necessarily what's causing your hot flashes, but it's part of the protocol. So the other thing they proved, so the blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, the most important part of this is a detox. And they proved medically that this is removing herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon from your body, because we're all storing, even in Puerto Rico, you're breathing and drinking and eating chemicals that are circulating around the world. And what happens to us when we ingest these things, the body, to protect us, takes the chemical and stuffs it in your fat cells. That's why you have all that fat. That's why you have all that bloating. It's the body trying to protect you. The only way it knows how is to stuff the chemical inside that fat cell. And if you look at her waist on day 1, and then look at her waist on day 30, look at that bloating, it's all gone because she detoxed. Now, this is not anecdotal evidence. This is medically proven. That's what I want you all to understand. There's no other diet nutrition program in the world with 10 peer-reviewed published medical studies. It doesn't exist. The main reason to do this, number 1 is to detox, number 2 is to lower inflammation, and number 3 is to be able to maintain it. This picture is 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years, as all the other people that I'm about to show you right now, which I'm going to do, right? I'm scrolling your channel. I haven't heard anything. What do you mean? Why would you think you'd hear anything? I don't understand, Christine. You appeared on my YouTube. I've only seen the last 5 minutes. I'm scrolling your channel. I haven't heard anything. Did you not hear what I just said about how this works? I'm confused. Because you need to go to the website, The New Health Conversation. I know that's on YouTube, but that's not the medic. Look, here's what you need to do. Type in The New Health Conversation, Christine and Slim, or anybody else. You type in the New Health Conversation, it'll take you to the website link. There's the link. And then it takes you to the website. There's the website. My brand is the New Health Conversation. So like yes on YouTube or yes on any social media, you type that in. But that's not the website. The website is the New Health Conversation. Just to clarify for you. That was my response a while ago. So did you get a chance to hear what I said about how you do it? That was my response a while ago. I mean, again, this makes so much sense. Great, nope. And nope, did you hear my explanation of why this works? Nope. And you understand you can go to that website right there, and you too, Christine, the New Health Conversation, and see the medical proof. And then if you like what you see, you get a free coach. The coaching is 100% free. But Christine, I'm just confused. Did you hear what I just said or not? Because I'm not getting indication that it's not broadcasting across all my social platforms. So, okay. No. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. I do that sometimes, everybody. But Christine, does this sound, let me ask all of you this. This is all I would invite all of you to do. Go to the website, look at the medical proof. We will not contact you. Christine, if you go there, we won't contact you. We're scientists. Why should we have to contact you when there's the medical proof for you all to see? Then you, Christine, get to make a decision. Do you want to coach? We're not going to contact you, Christine or Slim or Nope or any of you. We're not going to contact you if you go to that website. We don't need to convince you or sell you. I will tell you this, 98% of the people who go to that website end up wanting to do the protocol because the medical proof is overwhelming. What other website are you going? Who? Christine. It's all good. Good. I'm glad I'm making you laugh. But Christine or Slim or Nope or Alec or any of you, I want to know, is anybody on social media that you're following or have followed or have seen that's giving you one shred of medical evidence? Please put it in the Slim or Nope or any of you. Is anybody giving you medical proof about what they're claiming? The reason I know they're not, they don't have any. Because again, if you have peer-reviewed human trial studies, which is the highest investigation in medical science, why wouldn't you be talking about the peer-reviewed human trial studies? Because they don't have any. Why are you going on these diet schemes? That's what I call them. And yet we have 2.5 billion people worldwide overweight. I know, Christine, that obviously obesity, overweight in Puerto Rico, in South America, in Miami, well, around the world now. It's not just a localized problem. But Christine, you deserve to have a shot at a life. I mean, again, you don't have to believe me, but obviously you're unhappy about what's happened to you. It's not your fault. I always give the analogy for Slim and for Nope and everybody else that imagine what they're telling you is you have a square hole and you have a round peg and they're giving you a bigger hammer. Diets are never going to work. Counting calories. Listen, in 1964, we had about 10% of the population overweight and obese. In 1964. They're now saying in four years that 86% of America is going to be overweight or obese in 4 years. Does that sound to any of you like the diets are working? Any of you? So Christine, Nope, Slim Bailey, whatever, I'm going to end this podcast now. It's mostly because of my voice. I've already been on for an hour and 24 minutes, and I have to rest my voice because I'm probably going to do at least 3 more of these a day, and more people are finding out about it. So what I would encourage all of you to do, and again, does everybody see, and Nope, I'm going to write it again below your name here, the New Health. And Christine, I'm assuming you know the New Health Conversation is where you can go, Google it, and it'll take you to the website. And that website, there's nothing to buy there. The only thing, see right there, the New Health, I spelled it right. Right below your name, Nope, that's the website you want to go to. The same with you, Christine. Are you clear before I hang up? The New Health Conversation, and also Slim, I think you know that, all right? So, any last questions for me, Christine, or Nope, or Slim, or anybody else that's still on here? I guess not. Okay. All right, everybody, I'm going to sign off, and I want to thank all of you for being here. Please tell your friends about this. We really want this thing to grow. But having, 4, 5, or 10 people on at a time, that's not ideal for the world, but it doesn't matter. We don't care. We'll come on if there's one person, because we always say if we can make a difference in one of your lives, it's worth it. So Slim, if we can help you, or Christine, if we can help you, or Nope, if we can help you, that's what we want to do. All right, everybody. Have a great day, evening, afternoon, tomorrow, wherever you are in the world, okay? Thanks a million. Bye-bye.